So driving back to Melbourne now, we've had a great long weekend up here. We've done some epic hills. We've done the weather has been chalk and cheese. Yesterday, raining and cold. Today, we rode Mount Buffalo I was just in Nixon and Jersey, nothing else. And shoes and a helmet.
Beautiful weather.
It was amazing. We weren't aware that there was snow at the top still. So that was pretty cool. And I got some good still shots of that. So we saw a little bit, as you go up to the snow line, there's a little bit of snow on the side, a little bit more, and I thought, oh, we're not going up that much higher, so I wasn't quite sure how much. There's quite a bit. We could have at least done some damage chucking a few hard snowballs at cars or people going past. But it was a good day. And how are the legs after the 200k ride?
I'm surprised. They've actually pulled up pretty good, so that was worth it. Good training days.
I wasn't even going to bring my bike up. I was going to drive up and grab Vom, and we're going to drive back to Melbourne. 3 hours or so both ways. But I thought, bugger it, I'll put the bike in the car and get some Ks in. So after the footy yesterday, I got the Tamanic Loop in, which we're driving past now, and the Magpies. But it was good Ks. A lot of races we've done out there over the years. Tons of racing, time trials, handicaps. There's been a few tours out there as well. It's the same with Mount Buffalo. We've raced up that quite a bit. So it was good to get out there and get some Ks. And this morning, went and picked up my fourth kicker. So got 4 kickers. And then when the sun was out, when in Rome, ride hills. So we rode hills, and it was beautiful. Power wasn't an issue. My heart rate strap, I lent Von my heart rate strap, so I had her heart rate. I didn't know what was going on. When I looked down, I was doing more beats than I should have been, dropping the wrong beats. So I quickly turned that off. So if people, there's people who do look into my Strava stuff pretty, with a bit of an eagle eye. So if people are looking at my Strava and see the heart rate sort of mismatches power and then it shuts off, that's because I shut it off. It wasn't me. But a bit cold at the top, so we turned around and bombed that, and Von can descend very well. So
May not go up very fast, but I do like flying down the hills.
If you're at one with your bike, it's beautiful. You can hammer that descent. It's so good. Such a good descent. Usually when it's wet or it's been raining up on Buffalo, there's a lot of crap all over the roads. The trees, it's different that when it rains, a lot of crap gets on the road. Leaves, bark, things wash out. But it was actually quite clean even after all the rain. So we can hammer the corners. We just had to watch the tourists at the Eurobin Falls who were up there for the
waterfalls.
The waterfalls. And
wow.
They were everywhere. Now you see them when you climb up in summer. We do most of our training up there in summer. You see the waterfalls, they're a bit of a trickle, and there's not much water at all. Today there's waterfalls where there were never waterfalls before. There was a ton of water, and that was awesome. So Von had tunes in the back pocket. Usually I climb with some headphones in for some motivation, but today was just listening to the waterfalls, and you could hear the big ones a few hundred meters away. Very cool. And how do these climbs compare to that in Europe? Now I've ridden the Europe climbs. They're different. And the landscape's different, but the climbs are just as good. Like the actual gradients, the road surface, and the training you can get on them. Yeah, for sure. We can see Mount Hotham over. I can't get this swiveled very easily, but we can see Buffalo and Hotham that way now as we come past Glenrowan. The very top of Hotham is very, very Euro-style climbing. It's above the tree line. It's bloody steep. It's only 1,700 metres, so it's not that air thin, I guess, but your chip packets will expand. It's really good climbing, so now's about the time where everyone starts coming up training for Tour of Bright and a lot of other summer racing. The Australian Nationals are at the opposite end of the scale from everyone else. Where in January we have our National Championship, so a lot of people come up here training for that from now onwards. And I think it's just about to start pissing down rain.
Why do they go to Bright to train? Because the Nationals are in Ballarat.
Bright's a great base. You're from Bright, you can go any direction. Very much like Bormio. You can go any direction and you get some really, really good climbing. You've got, so from Bright, from memory, let me try and run through the star of roads if I can recall them. from Bright, you've got 20 k's to Harrietfield, then up Hotham, which is a 30k climb, or you can go Toowoomba, which is probably a few k's out to Toowoomba Gap, over Toowoomba, both sides of Toowoomba if you want to go both ways, or you can go from Falls Creek from there. So there's 2 big climbs. You can then go Wandillagong, which is south, which is rolling hills, a couple of 20k south, 10k south of town. Buckland Valley, which is a bit flat and rolling as well, a few k's there. Off the other road, you can go Mount Buffalo, which we did today, or you can go the Ovens Valley Highway, which is north. You've got the rail trail, which is north and pretty flat. You've got Back Porpunka Road, which will take you out to the tip. That's about every road out of town.
Why does the tip matter?
Why does the tip matter? That's the turnaround point. So everyone knows where the tip is. Well, I've never dumped anything there, but I've done about 1,000 U-turns there. And but all different climbs as well. So shorter climbs, longer climbs, or rolling hills. And the rail trail is good as well, because that's where the money is. That's where the people are. There's thousands of people who ride rail trails. The competitive cycling community is, we'd like to think it's large. It's not. But the recreational cycling and the sportive cycling, massive. So home of the Alpine Audax. Three Peaks goes through there as well every March. Bright is just a really, really good base. What I'm surprised at, there's no, well, there might be, I'm just not on my radar, organised tours. I'd love to see groups of people flying to Melbourne Airport. Someone picks them up in a transit van, bikes in the back, straight up to Bright for a month, 2 months, maybe a couple of weeks. But yeah, it'll take you a week to get all the climbs in just once, and 2 weeks to know them well. So if anyone wants to be entrepreneurial, business-wise, / I think not Cafe Derailleur, what is it? Cafe Bright, Tour of Bright Velo, Bright Velo.
Yeah, Bright Velo.
Bright Velo. They do that with accommodation. I'm not sure they do the whole pickup thing, because it's still 3.5 hours from Melbourne. On the wrong side of the road, I guess, for most people too. But the weather's closing in. But it's brilliant. Like that snow today, the captures we got from that, very, very cool.
And it wasn't too chilly at the top. We just stopped, turned around, I put a jumper on, and descended with that globs. It was great. The
sun was warm, so when you stopped in the sun, you sort of thaw out. So the sun's starting to get a bit warmer now that it's a little higher in the sky.
Yeah.
It was probably 13 or 14 degrees at the top, so that's why I was surprised to see the snow there, because usually the temperatures go up or the rain comes in and just, washes poor Incy away.
This rain might wash that away.
Yeah, if you get a northerly here with a warm rain, that'll be all gone pretty quick. And it was bright white, so the light colour correction on the camera. But that's about it. So that's the weekend. I'll see if I can interleave some footage in here of that, but that's tons of fun. But again, bombing that descent, if you want to feel alive, if you're ever feeling shit, or you want to it's, as I've mentioned, blow the cobwebs out for sure, and maybe run over a few spiders while you're out. But I've mentioned before in my descending video, I'll link it, I don't know, somewhere. Where are we going to link? We'll link it somewhere. In that video, I said that when you go into a corner, all the else, there's just I guess you call it a purity. Is that the word? Am I talking shit? But there's something about all that matters going into that corner is you staying upright and exiting that corner. That's all. There's no other worry in the world. Is you bomb into the corner, you lead the bike over with every inch of I guess reflex that you have, and hope that your interaction or your reaction will be the right one. You're not going to grab the wrong brake. There was one corner where I had to bunny hop some bit of a rough section on the road, but I had enough leeway there. I was happy with the response of that. You sort of twitch up, you lift the bike up a little bit, you can jump, land back on it. So you're not on a knife edge. You're not pushing for maybe life or death in a couple of situations, but you've got a buffer. And
great weekend.
Bit of fun.
What did you do yesterday?
Watched the footy. Became Australian and watched the footy.
Because I don't think you mentioned the mountain bikes.
We just happened to be in town too. So the mountain biking, I put at the start, little kid doing a burnout in the water. Hilarious.
That was cute.
6 hours in the saddle. There just happened to be a mountain bike race in town that I picked Von up from, who she rode over to the next town after a large ride. So we went and said g'day, and who happened to be there? But like everyone we knew from Melbourne, Fixo, the commentator from another one of the Zwift nights we've done, he was there and said g'day.
It's good to see Rob there.
Rob Story was there. He's watcher of the videos. But just general, the cycling community is quite good, and we find mountain bikers as well, because mountain bike is a lot of hanging around. There's a lot of pit areas. Road cycling is just like you get out of there, you're done. You're not seeing for the rest of the day. That's it. Very serious stuff. Road bikes, mountain bikes, very cool and cash, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I won't explain it any further. So no, that was good. And those kids were having heaps of fun in the mud. And the father of the guy, I put the video up on Instagram, and his dad saw it, tagged it. I was like, yeah, sweet. Really cool.
He loved it. Was very proud.
Yeah. All very good. And then back to Wangaratta to watch the footy, and then the Tamanic ride with the Magpies. I didn't actually get hit by any Magpies, so that was a win.
Yeah.
Because those little, God, when they hit, now, they can draw blood, sure. There's one right now. They can draw blood. If they peck your ear, if they get their claws into your ear, they will draw blood. Most of the time, they'll snap their beak just above your head. And it's not, like that in itself, that doesn't do anything physically to you. But it's the intimidation and the scare factor. You imagine you're riding along by yourself, you think you're by yourself, next thing something is about 1 foot above your head, you shit yourself. You actually get a neck cramp if you jolt hard enough and react hard enough. I've actually had earphones fly out because I've flicked my head so hard. You don't know what. It's like someone throwing a drink bottle at your head or a beer can or something. So your reaction is to fight straight away. So that's why cyclists get angry. I get angry.
I have the fright and flight.
So do both. You've got the
the initial, oh my god, something's hit me in the head.
Right, and then it's fight or flight. So what's your response?
Flight.
Where
I'm like, I gotta get out of here. Oh my god, I'm in a panic. Yeah.
Mine's both. I'll fly away, but I'll sit there swinging. I'll fight a magpie. Fuck, I'll take a magpie on. But
so why are they so aggressive?
I don't think it's breeding season. I think it's hatching season. So they protect their nests. They're very, very territorial. And for generations, magpies will hang around a certain area for generations. So the ones I know of, Bell Street or Bell Hill in Eltham near home, there's a bomber there who's pretty sharp on the beak skills. Ballarat Nationals course, very top. Now the cruelest part, it's one of the slowest parts of the Ballarat Nationals road race course. There's one at the top of the hill every single time, every year. Now, I'm guessing it's next generation that get passed down, and they refine their skills every generation of magpie. And holy shit, that one is what that one does that's different to every other magpie. It'll attack you from the front. Most magpies stealthy from the back, or they'll do an autonomous bomb from the top, and you won't know they're coming. They just do it by instinct. This one in Ballarat comes at your face. I think there's been rumours of it's been hit by a car. There's always a dead magpie here and there, and look, they're protected species, so you can't technically kill them, or what I say, you can't kill them while anybody's watching. If you can frame it, it's fine. OJ Simpson style, frame it, put a glove somewhere, or no one's responsible. Michael Jackson style, I anaesthetized it. I put it to sleep. The magpie overdosed. Anyway, they are evil, and it's the anxiety you get from not knowing that they're there. If they let out a squawk, they're there, fine, great. You can sort of put your hand up. If you put your hand up like a rooster behind your head, they won't attack you.
That's why the cable ties work.
Well, cable ties, but if you see the cable ties, I don't know if they work. I've never tried them. I'm not sure if I don't really mix with people or converse with people who use cable ties. Either they're different people, I think, are they people? I think. We'll have to find, if you use cable ties for magpies and you're from Australia and you're watching, let us know. Do they work?
Do they work?
I think the reason why the cable ties work is because the magpies laugh so hard they can't swim. Thoughts? If I was a magpie, I'd piss myself laughing. Just kidding. Anyway, because here I am talking about how my anxiety that I get, and I want to fight magpies, and these people are probably going out and enjoying their ride. They may be onto something. Not sure I can try it though. Does Shimano make cable ties? Zip tie. Oh, there we go.
Zip ties.
Zip ties. Copyright me. Don't even think about using that zip. ZIPPP. The extra P is for magpie.
Sure.
Piss off, magpie. Do you think it's worth even uploading just this rant? I think it is.
No, TV some light.
No. We've got light.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that's better.
There we go. This wind's picking up. So's the car behind me. Come on. So good weekend. Good. It's just
Yeah, great weekend.
lots of fun, lots of snow. Well, a little bit of snow.
Like sugar on top.
It was a snow cone. No yellow snow.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have yellow snow. I could have done yellow snow. Not enough coffee at the bottom to make yellow snow. Duck up. I don't even know how much battery's left in this thing.
Not much.
So in Australia, we don't have an autobahn. We have highways and freeways. Our maximum speed here is 110 kilometres per hour.
In Victoria.
Victoria, is it faster anywhere else? I think they've still clamped down in NT.
Yep.
Is there any 120 roads in Australia? I'm not sure there's any 120 roads. 115?
It's just, we've got such long distances, and just to be doing 110 is a slow go.
But I guess the way I saw it, when I was in Europe, they build all those, a lot of houses, homes, buildings, I don't know what they're spent buildings, are right up against the road. Like you'll clip them with your elbow if you're not looking, going past. They cannot build buildings like that close to the road in Australia. The society, community, people, what do you call it?
Councils.
No, people just aren't ready to have anything that close. If you put something within a metre of a road in Australia, people will crash into it.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. So there'll be car scrapes all over it. But it's funny, you go through the smaller towns in Europe and those buildings were like somebody's bedroom probably halfway in an intersection. It was bizarre, but I guess you drive to the conditions. But yeah, in Australia, if they try that, nope. Like Copenhagen bike lanes, they've tried that in Melbourne. The problem with Copenhagen bike lanes is where they've got road, car, bike lane, footpath. People aren't ready for that. The society isn't ready for that. Nobody, like in Australia, we're just getting people to look behind them when they swing a door open for traffic. Now look for bikes, just in general share the road. Try to teach that to a passenger or a junior in the back, swinging doors open on the passenger side doesn't make any sense. And the fact that they're only in one or two parts of Melbourne,
Yeah, they haven't been successful.
they're not consistent, so
I feel nervous as a cyclist
I don't use them.
riding up them.
I don't use them.
Well, the issue I had the other day was that I needed to turn right. So then I had to get through from the bike lane, through the parked cars, through the two lanes to get to the right-hand lane to turn. And in the end I went, oh, stuff it, I'm just going to go up and do a hook turn. It's too hard.
Melbourne, famous for hook turns. I think Melbourne's the only town or any city in Australia we do hook turns in cars. But bikes can do hook turns at any intersection, which is kind of cool. So hook turn, I can't get left or right, doesn't matter depending on what side of the world you're on. But for us, we're on the left, so you go through an intersection and you sort of pull up in front of the car. So through intersection, if you want to turn right, you pull up in front of the cars, then you go across as if you're at the front row of that row of cars. Works really, really well. Again, I haven't had any aggro from drivers in doing that, but I think if you do it politely, if you sort of pull to the side, look behind you, acknowledge that, yeah, you know there's cars there. You haven't just pulled up in front of a car and you're an asshole about it. I always pull over to the left and just try and be like, leave no footprints. Just try and be as least of an asshole as possible. Works most of the time. And funnily enough today, the worst pass, I didn't get on camera because I didn't have the camera on all day. Cyclist, because he had two bikes on the back. Sorry, bike rider I'll call. Cyclists I think have more nous than this, but this guy had two bikes in the back of the car and just like straight past, wasn't a meter. Not that he has to give me a meter, but you don't have to be a dickhead. And yeah, that was the closest car that, look, if a car comes close enough for me to have a reaction that I swear or feel intimidated or frightened about it, that's too close. Like, give a meter matters, 1.5 meters, whatever, like, if that's the way you want to define it. For me, I define it by, did I just shit myself because you were too close? If it's a yes, you're too close. And today that was a big bike rider. In a car, obviously, but takes all types.
Doesn't take much to be considerate on the road.
No. And I think everyone, if I'm still uploading this, and apologies if I do, but I think, yeah, we're preaching the converted here. Everyone will get that. But it's just so good to ride roads slowly and enjoy them. Of roads that you've raced up before with your tongue hanging out, and you don't see anything. When you're racing, it's heart rate, not even, yeah, you're looking down at your Garmin Chris Froome style. No, it's not that. You're sort of distance to go. And if you're not looking at your distance to go, you're not doing it right. But, you know, time, where I'm at, looking at your competition, looking at other wheels, you know, trying to optimize. So here's what's running through my head. Am I in the right section of the road? Is it the smoothest section of the road? Am I cutting the right line that's the quickest through here? Is my pacing good? Is my hydration good? Do I need a gel? What else? Yeah, where's the next turn? And I break a climb up. So today's climb, off the top of my head, for Mount Buffalo. Right. I haven't raced it for a while. Let me run you through this. So out of the chalet, or the ticket booth, is one of the steepest sections. So you're going hard through there, it flattens out, put the hammer down through there, jump on a few gears. Eurobin Falls really flattens out into the steeper section of the climb, just past Eurobin Falls. And then you get to work up to that Devil's Elbow hairpin. And if I'm on a 17.5 minute to 17 minute flat time, I'm on song for my PB up there. Transit section between there and the false flat. And again, looking at times, hydration, heart rate, power is good to look at. You know how much power you can put out for the 48 to 55 minutes. To, you know, where's the wind coming from? Can you protect yourself from the wind by sitting on different parts of the road? If you're by yourself, look for cars behind you. Where's everyone else? And you sort of run through that process non-stop. And by the time, yeah, I mean, you can run through that 1,000 times by the time you get to the top. But there's always, yeah, what's the next section? And then once you're over halfway through, a mindset that I use for a lot of it will, yeah, am I going to pull the pin? Is this either a race or a training ride or anything? But if I've gone halfway, I know that if I pull the pin further than halfway, the past me would kick my ass if I knew I was going to give up. Why go that hard at the start if I'm not going to finish the job? That keeps me going quite a bit, so you owe it to yourself. And a big one for me is the road always finishes. There's always a finish. Always. It's not going to go forever. There's always a finish line. Even Mount Hotham, the hardest thing for Mount Hotham is you come around the corner, 10% for a couple of 100 meters, and then it's got 30 kilometers to go. That can be depressing, but you know that means that every turn of the pedals is less you're going to have to do. Does that make sense? That makes sense?
Yeah. It's about breaking it down.
Oh, chunking. So if anyone's done any memory mnemonic stuff, it's about chunking. Make you remember things a lot easier. Magic number 7, we did all that psych. But you do the same with the climb, and if you can, if your brain is working, people do mathematics in FTP tests and things. If you can do math, there is studies. If I can find the link is below. But if you can do maths and keep your brain away from dealing with the actual physical pain,
or the exertion,
which is pain.
Pain, but
yeah, it's pain.
Comfortably uncomfortable.
If you don't have pain, you're not doing it right. Well, yeah, you're uncomfortable, and that's what a good warm-up's about. You have to be prepared to be uncomfortable and be okay with that. And then again, that's what training's about. Because how many times have you not done an interval session for weeks, let's just say? Did you do one? You can still do it. Physically, you can still do it. Your numbers may be down, but holy shit, that thing hurts. So it's about the acclimatization to the being uncomfortable. And what is that level though? And I had an email today. What level do you think everyone should be able to get to? What's a general level that everyone should be able to get to? I can't answer that because that's if you've got what everyone should be able to get to, who knows? But everyone does have a physical limit. There's a genetic limit. There really is. That's VO2 is a good indicator of that. Don't start with the whole. I know, but VO2 is a good indicator. But for people with good VO2s, they're going to be the kids who are good at school sports. They're going to be people who are they're good at basketball, they're good at jumping, they're good at footy, cricket, you name it. Everything they take up, they can take it up because anaerobically they are really superior. And you'll get it. You'll know the kids. There was tons of them at school. Well, a few in my school anyway. Case in point. But I'm not sure about aerobic fitness, though. He'd still be pretty good. Adam Goods. I went to school with Adam Goods.
AFL player?
AFL, legend of the game, Brownlow medal winner. Topical for the moment. Sydney Swans.
Yeah.
He could pick up. I knew Goodsy from a junior at Sunnyside Footy Club, and playing cricket at school during recess and things. He'd pick any sport up and be freaking good at it. So what you find in cycling is they're all the pros. They're genetic outliers. And truth bomb being, it's not a sport where you can work hard and achieve your dreams. You can work hard and achieve your maximum genetic potential. And that can be fun in itself. But it's not business. Business and life, it's all who you know, experiences and things like that. Sure, you can climb the corporate ladder. You can go be a doctor if it's something like if you've got the cognitive capacity, I won't go into that. But cycling and fit, it's how hard can you press the pedals and for how long? Pretty much it. So yeah, can't answer that question, sorry buddy. I'll send you a polite reply. Kicker versus Neo. Did we even cover that? Do I start on that one? 4 kickers, 1 Neo. Have you ridden the Neo yet? You've ridden it once?
I put my time trial bike on the Neo.
Neo's still 10 speed because I haven't
Neo's
upgraded
10
it.
speed. I had my bike packed away. So I needed a bike to ride for a couple of days indoors and put my time trial bike on the Neo, tested it out. It was nice. It was nice.
Oh, okay, it was nice. I need more than that. I need more than nice.
It did feel different to riding the kicker.
Okay.
I would say. Yep. It was still smooth.
Give it the smoothness, sure. Responsiveness on. Did you use Zwift for it?
Yes, I rode Zwift on a couple of times.
Okay, so you haven't got a big sway either way, but you're swaying towards the kicker, I guess. So if you were to say, if I was to say to you, you're going to train at the Neo now for the next 4 weeks, would you be okay with that?
Yeah, fine.
Sure. Okay, good.
Absolutely not a problem. I found it difficult to get my time trial bike on and off it.
Horizontal dropouts.
Horizontal dropouts and the way that the rear stays came up with the profile of the unit. It was very difficult from that perspective.
Yeah, we've got the original Neo. It's only new, but it's the original now because there's a new shell out.
Is it?
2017 Neo, I don't know what they're calling them, but it's the same guts, but the shell has been refined so it can fit more time trial bikes because rear stays that come in and bikes that have rear brakes underneath. Yeah. Well, the Shiv does, but you know what I'm talking. Yeah, it's.
So in that respect, if I was to take, and I wanted a power trainer to a time trial warm up, then the Neo would be my go-to because I don't need to take a power supply for that. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. I also like the way that it packs up as well.
It folds up nicely.
It folds up nicely. You can put it in the back of the car.
The footprint is bigger. than the kicker, sure, but it folds up quite neatly. You've got to pick it up in a certain way though, or else you'll rip your fingers to bits. But on the cassette, but it folds up quite neatly. The problem I have though is it's not waterproof, so you can't use that thing outside. We've been TTing warming up in rain, sleet, hail, snow, etc. So you'd have to, if you're going to use it outside, even if you were to try and waterproof it, good night, it'll overheat. So I'd say inside only.
Yeah, so typically we would take a Le Mans trainer as a warm-up.
I love the Le Mans.
Yeah.
I'll do a video. If I was to do a video on my favourite trainer, yeah.
Of all time.
Yeah.
Of all time.
Of all time.
Whoa.
I love the Le Mans that much. I'm not selling mine at all. I won't even rent it out. It's bloody, I love it. It is.
We have 2 Le Mans.
Two Le Mans, 4 kickers, 1 Neo, 1 Cubo, 1 Fluid, and a set of rollers. So far.
And a Kurt.
No, we sold it. We sold the Kurt.
When?
I sold it when we moved house. So how haven't missed the Kurt Kinetic. It was okay. Like, it's fluid trainers, Kurt Kinetic is okay. But look, rarely do I train for riding in mud with slick tyres up a hill, punching myself in the face. I don't like fluid trainers. They're not, because the actual experience.
Better than magnetic. Better than a mag trainer.
Yeah, mags don't even, they're not on the radar anymore at all. Mags are,
They are at a price point. The low end price
Look.
point.
I don't know. That's like saying, look, I'm into cars, but do you want to drive a golf cart?
Yeah.
Or a shopping trolley versus a Porsche? Like, look, you can move shit with it. You probably move house with a shopping. Actually, some people even live in a shopping trolley. So,
Hey, you can get a shopping trolley.
shout outs to those who live in a shopping trolley. One day, get that $1 back. One day. We're moving house today. We're going to the $2 shopping trolley. But yeah, mate. Yeah, look. To be honest though, you could put a can of baked beans in a clamp and put your rear wheel on that. As long as you're getting a good workout and it's consistent, that's fine. Just make sure you got a couple of $1,000 power meter to get some results from it as well, so you record your baked bean workout.
That'd be like a fluid trainer.
Man, on the gas. On the gas. That's terrible. That's
I
terrible.
wonder what the inertia would be like.
Meaty. Oh, as long as you get the good baked beans.
It'd be like the Chocolate thing going.
Like a duck.
Yeah.
What else can we talk about in bikes?
What are you doing next weekend?
I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. People ask me, what's up next week? What's you doing? Doing this next month? I haven't even planned tomorrow night. Actually, my current horizon literally is Melbourne, and then we'll get home. But what you're doing next weekend's a different thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride the furthest I've ever ridden before in one day.
201 k's.
210.
I've done around the bay once. Actually, I've linked to that. Yeah, if you're an internet sleuth, go back to one of my really, really early videos.
Yeah.
It's where I started. 85 kilos overweight. There was a picture of me doing the around the bay. 2004, 5 or 6, probably 4. 12 years ago. I'm not sure. One of my first rides where cool. Okay, GoPro just went flat, so finally after a whole day of use, the GoPro is no-go GoPro. I'll finish this one off quickly. So that was the longest ride I've ever done, and I haven't ridden, apart from the Zwift ride that I did, which was for 12 and a half hours. The Around the Bay was the longest ride I've ever done. And how was the experience? I haven't done it since. So Von, you gonna do it?
Yep. First time, maybe my last time.
You've got to do it at least once. And it's a rite of passage. Is that the word to use? But it can be what's got a breakthrough workout as well. If you're doing the same case, non-stop, same case, you'll plateau pretty quick. Something like the Around the Bay, if you do it in the right zone, hydrate well, eat well, which I know Von will, you can really get some good training out of it. So my best 5-minute power on the flat over in Perth, 475. Whoa, I just saw some massive lightning over there, and we got to charge his GoPro. I did my best, 475 for 5 minutes on the flat into a headwind after, that was about 4 or 5 days after, I think, my really, really long day. So these do have some training benefit. So distance does not kill your speed. So Von, we should do a step test once you're finished around the bay. What are your thoughts on that?
Reserve judgment.
Okay. Cool. All right. We're driving into some massive storms now, so we'll let you go. Thanks for watching, if you're still watching. This is more of a live, I guess. And with no stabilization, we'll get a GoPro stabilizer if this one works. But it's so much easier just to have a chat like this. If the content comes out, look, we could ramble for hours, and we do. So look, if this works, we'll do more of them. There's going to be a lot of kilometers in the car coming up, and we can talk about events we're going to and all that. So more lightning over here. We'll leave you guys to it. Thanks for coming, Von.